So
So
anyways, how have you been?
good, good. Busy week. We both had spring break this week. Is that right?
Well, yeah, last week. Last week
Last
was
week.
our spring break and it was so good. It was so good. We went to
We
Universal.
love
We got
spring
to spend
break.
time with the Omerons and
Fun.
yeah. And thank you, Jesse, for the most recent edit, the motherhood podcast that we just put out that by
Yeah,
the time this one comes out will be like 3 ago. The very end of it, she did a little thing where Bella came in and have you
I
watched it
saw
yet?
that. Yeah, I saw that part.
Did some stuff for Bella. Oh my gosh. And I
Mhm.
have a video of Bella reacting to seeing it for the first time. I'll have to send it to you. It was really
Did
fun.
she love it?
Oh yeah, she loved it.
That's awesome.
All right. Well,
I think you're, I think you're an awesome mom.
I think you are too.
You're fantastic.
It was
Oh,
awesome.
good. There were some good
Anyways,
faces there.
yeah. So yeah, we got to spend the week with them, which was awesome though. What did
Good.
you guys do for spring break?
Usually we go somewhere like Las Vegas or California, but
Mhm.
this time we wanted to stay closer to home. So we took the kids to I forgot what the Solomon Center in Ogden. They
Oh,
went
okay.
indoor
Oh
skydiving and
yeah,
rock
I fly and
climbing and
stuff.
surfing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
We had
awesome.
a blast. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And then Cody and I had a weekend, like I call it a weekend, midweek to ourselves. We went and watched Kevin James
Was it
comedy stuff.
awesome?
Yeah, it was really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then where were your kids? Because you said they kind of tagged
Yeah,
along.
so we planned it out as this like getaway for me and Cody. And then my daughter's like, I'm getting tickets for me and two of our other kids, and we're coming too. So they did. So we were at the front and they were at the back.
Oh, okay, so you weren't
And
together at the concert?
no,
So very
no,
awesome.
but it was fun to see them and they came and hung out with us afterwards a little bit. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fun.
But then did they stay with you guys for the weekend or they go home and you guys still had some
No,
time
they
alone?
drove home.
Awesome.
Nope, my daughter had to get back to college.
Yeah,
And
that's kind of adorable though. I think it
yeah,
is at least.
it was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. So,
Good
well,
times. Good
welcome
times like
back to
Universal
our
and
yes. Oh my God.
so
I'm gonna
fun.
welcome back to our little white picket fence. There, I said it.
Welcome
I
back.
don't
Thank
I
you.
don't know why I always feel the need to say that. Like it, I don't know.
Because that's what this is. And
I
that's what we
know,
do.
I know, but
Welcome
that's
back.
why I want to just make it some sort of an intro so that I like.
Yeah. I've
uh,
had some ideas on that and I will talk to you about them
we
shortly.
we shouldn't just hash out the podcast as the podcast.
We could.
How can we make this
Could.
better? What can we do? I already see Anthony edit topless.
And Cody would agree.
Yeah. I think most guys. That's but some other real like things to do
Yeah.
for this one.
Actual ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have some ideas on like a theme song. Do 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 do. Bang. So
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah.
that one's
We
been
should
taken.
we should do a mid like a call this week and like just to hash
Okay,
stuff out.
let's do it.
Cool. Anyways, but so this week,
Welcome back.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I
Nice
always
caller.
take yeah, you have your mom's like
My
sexy
mom's
voice,
voice.
Yes.
Sweet.
Oh my goodness. Uh,
I wanna be, do you remember Delilah on the radio
yes.
back when we were
I love
kids?
Delilah.
Love songs. Delilah.
You could totally do that.
I could if I could keep a straight face for longer than like 3 seconds.
Oh,
Like
do
you
you
got some guys.
do you make the messages on the answering machine in that voice like your mom does?
No,
Because that's just
no,
your
I do
mom's
not.
always voice. She's just so
Yeah,
soft spoken and
soothing.
gentle and soothing.
Hmm. Yep. I'm not, but I could
I
be.
think you are. Uh,
Yes.
anyways,
Mm,
so my topic is it's not a well thought out topic because I have like
that's
a
okay.
lot of like big things that I feel like are brewing in my head that are the things that are like what's taking over the majority of my time, but the thoughts aren't like
Mhm.
sorted enough to like put them out there in any meaningful way. So
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
get
like
that.
I'm like I just am kind of, I wouldn't call this a throwaway at all, because I think this is an important thing for us to be talking about, but something that I don't think we've discussed on here before, and it's just like body image. Like we always heard about having like a positive body image, or you know what I mean? And that's kind of been where we've been going with things, like just telling everybody to be positive about their body image, which I think is excellent. I think it's been a really excellent move. But have you heard about the like sorry. Do something right here, Jesse, because I need to gather my thoughts. You know that big old bong I hit? Sometimes it does like, you know, just stop me in my tracks.
It's time to stop.
It feels like in a good way, you know, just like relax, but I'll figure out what I'm talking about. I'm just like, oh yeah, what was I talking about?
Body positivity.
Actually,
so we've heard about
I wanted to talk about body neutrality.
Body neutrality.
Yeah. Do you know what that means, kind of?
I kind of get it just off the name, but
yeah.
explain?
Well, I mean, I can only say what it means to me, honestly. I did not do research, but and from what the little bit that I have seen, because I heard about it initially, I think on Philly D a while back, and it's just one of those things that's popped back in my head because, you know, having teenage daughters and just being someone who's always been concerned about things with her body, as everybody is.
As everybody, yeah.
I was like kind of okay with things, so I like skated by without it being too much of a thing, but it eats at you, even if you are like, you know, like not like, I don't have some sort of rare skin condition or any huge abnormalities, and like, you know, like I think I'm okay with the way that I look, but it doesn't change that like we are constantly comparing ourselves to what we see portrayed as what is ideal, and how we don't fit into that, even though it's not like a conscious thing. It's just a thing that's there.
It's always there. It's always
I really love the idea of the body neutrality, in that it's like just completely taking yourself outside of it. Like it truly doesn't matter. Like being neutral to what your body is, because your value doesn't lie in what you are
body
as a human being. And because I see the ways that it hurts me, or I hurt myself, or like this perception of what we're supposed to be feels bad to me, which hurts, you know. And it's like, you don't want to feel it, but certain things, it's this stupid nag that we have. And so body neutrality to me is just the literally not learning to not care about what the body is, because there are so many different types of bodies. To say there's an ideal is so unfair to 99% of the people, because only a very, very few are going to reach this like perfection status that somebody decided was what perfection is. And it's just literally their fucking body type. They're naturally that way. Yay, you won the fucking lottery, but you're not more important.
Well, you know? and it changes throughout history. Like, what's ideal one minute is not ideal the next minute. Like there's so many different ideals. They just want to make us all feel bad in, you know, equally. You should all feel terrible. No,
maybe, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know, because it pits us against one another in a way. I don't know, like me thinking you're superior to me, or just feeling inferior for stupid things. Like, it's not something we're intentionally doing, but there's this underlying thing that it creates, I think. And especially in really young girls, when it seems that they're super dramatic. And I think it's because they're just making these comparisons, and it does feel like just so overwhelming, you know. Anyways, though, what
and it's something you carry around with you always, and it affects the way people talk to you and the way you feel about talking to other people and how you present yourself in the world. I mean, it
affects everything.
It affects everything.
Yeah. So if we could somehow start a movement of really truly like, okay, like, sure, you want to be healthy. We want to try to be fit. Like, there's things we want to try to achieve, but within the reality of that, our bodies literally are all different, and that there is like the realm of normal is fucking huge, you know? So to like try to narrow it down to this ideal thing, like the people who create advertisements, they want to have just the most beautiful thing, because so they've decided what that is, but that doesn't make that person more valuable to you. It makes it only more valuable, I guess, to them as an advertiser. So sure, you're not going to be an advertiser, but your value as a human being is completely outside of that. And I know that I didn't see my value for a very long time because I was way too obsessed with my extrinsic value. And I'm like, how can we just fucking bypass this thing that's been given to us by like having it blasted in our faces, and then people around us like, kind of solidify it by, like making fun of things that don't look exactly like they think are ideal and stuff like that. And those are the type of things that we have to get away from. Like just basically being negative to be an asshole to make yourself feel better. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I've heard like on several podcasts, even like Joe Rogan, they talk about, hey, we want the most beautiful thing up on the billboards and up on the screens, and that's what's going to draw our attention there. That's why the advertisers want that there.
Yeah.
And all of that. And I can understand that from somebody who's trying to put an advertisement out there.
We get that. Look at us. I don't put my makeup on every day. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to sell something right here. We're enjoying making ourselves look like I feel pretty when I put on makeup.
Yeah.
I enjoy feeling sexy. I enjoy feeling comfortable in my own body, and it being like just allowing myself to wear what's comfortable, and also just enjoying whatever, comes with that. It's just like, so I get it. We do it too. Anyways, go on. I just
no, you're good.
On a tirade.
Nope, that fit right in.
I know, but please finish your thought. It was rude.
No, it was not rude. But I love the campaigns that are coming out that have more representation, like of all different body types and people being comfortable, like plus size models in underwear commercials. That's awesome. Guess what? Plus size people wear underwear too.
Yeah, and you know what? So sorry.
No, go ahead. Go.
I was gonna say, I feel like I am more comfortable with seeing it now too, because I have seen it more. And I like, it's not like I was ever like, ooh, but it also was just like, oh, like that's different.
That's different. Yeah.
Like, and that was a thing that I didn't control, the fact that I noticed, you know what I mean? But then seeing it on repeat helps us to like definitely accept it more and realize, oh my God, like just how one-minded we had become to even we would judge other people based on the normal, despite what we looked like. Everybody else is judged against this standard right here.
Yeah. 100%. And when you still hear people, especially men, saying like, oh, I don't want to see it, that's not who I want selling it to me. Well, you're not buying many women's underwear, are you? Like, know your audience. Know your audience.
Those are the type of people who I think don't actually like women. They don't like anything about women except for what maybe they look like. So they can only like what they think is ideal, because they don't care about women as just like human beings, because they probably don't have a lot of women in their life that they want to have conversations with or that they're friends with. So they're always going to be away from the women because they basically don't even like us. They're just probably gay, and that's like okay. I don't know.
I think there's a lot of guys that just have what they like in their heads, and they're like, this is what I enjoy seeing, and that's great.
True.
But we can't accommodate everything to that one particular gaze.
Exactly. And those guys maybe like don't see themselves for what they are either, though, because like if you want the best there is, you should be living a life that is just to be the best there is. And the best there is someone who values a human being over what she looks like, because and I'm not saying you shouldn't be attracted to, but some people are so narrow-minded because they just don't even care about the person.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's super important to care about the actual human being inside whatever package they are in.
Yeah.
None of us knows what tomorrow's going to bring. I could be in a horrific accident, and I would hope that I would still have value if,
well,
I didn't wear fake eyelashes and makeup in the same way. Like, I don't know.
I guess, like, I have my older sister, Emily, who has always been a larger person. Like that is clearly her body type. And it's so unfair of the world to have like constantly blasted in her face that what she was wrong, because she's just struggled her whole life. And like we have this, it's like yesterday, I have a story for you. So we went over, it's my dad's birthday, and we went over
Happy
for
birthday.
dinner. Yes, happy birthday, Dad. And at one point in time, my sister Emily walked away and was walking back towards us. And Elena, being a 3-year-old who just is going to say whatever, was like, you have a big belly and a little head. And it was like, it just stopped her in her tracks, and she kind of laughed at it. And actually, we all kind of laughed a little. And then I was like, that's from a place of just pure truth. Like she just, but I know, because I know that how things have felt to me. So I guess I can't say I know how she feels, but I could literally see it in her face.
Sympathize,
that she felt it. And that she, like, the kids are just being honest. And so it shouldn't even be a thing, because the value shouldn't be in what she looks like. We should be able to point out things about ourselves that are different and laugh at it to an extent. Like my daughter Bella, who has like what she calls a 5 head, and I think is beautiful, because I'm like, there are so many people who have large foreheads, and that is not what you see in them at all. Like you just see this beautiful person, and she can't see that outside of herself. All she can see is this.
It radiates from the inside.
Yeah. So when people do draw attention to it, so that's why we don't do that. But it also shouldn't be hurtful to just like accept things like that, because if your value wasn't in that was bad, what you were, you know what I mean? It wouldn't even matter. But we've put
that's where the neutrality comes in.
We put so much value in that now she has to feel this pain, even though it's just all she was doing was observing something. And there's nothing wrong with how Emily looks. And she's one of the most like amazing moms I think there ever was.
Yeah.
I've noticed I cry so much anymore. Do you ever go through a phase like that? I'm like, absolutely, I do. It's been like a month of like, anything. How dare you feel things? I know, but like any movie, any commercial that's like slightly, I'm like, the dog. Oh. Yeah. Oh.
This is a safe place. Cry here all you want. I know. I go through like waves. Like, okay, in the Mormon community, it's very, very common to you stand up and you bear your testimony, or you give a talk or something, and to be extra spiritual, you choke up, and like I could never really do that. Like I hardly ever did that. Like I didn't cry, and I thought it was because I was like an unfeeling, horrible person. And even now there's times where my husband's like, no reaction, like none. You got nothing. And
that's like, a fucking superpower, honestly, to an extent, because I can be that way in a lot of ways in life. I was that way for a very long time, and you just kind of become a little cold to certain things, and you really can just whatever. I don't know. But I was the opposite at testimony meeting. Like, really? If ever I wasn't the type to do it a lot, but that like. My anxiety made it very easy to start crying, because I didn't know what the fuck to say, and I didn't want to be up there, and I was just doing this because this is what I was supposed to be doing. So I'm trying to say the right thing, but really then I'm just girl. So everybody else thinks I'm really spiritual, and I never fucking believed it. So that can tell you that the person who's up there crying might be crying because this doesn't align with anything that I believe. Nothing that you want me to say makes any sense. My mind needs something more than this, and I'm crying. You think I'm spiritual.
Really just anxious.
I was so anxious. But I wanted to fit in, and I wanted to do what I was supposed to do, but I didn't have anything to say. I didn't have any stories. Nothing in my day ever was like, that represents God. It was like, I'm working, I'm surviving, like we worked a lot together as a family. I always had a job right after school. I had to get my school done while I was in school. Like I got good grades. I never had to try much, but I also had a lot of work to be doing outside of that. And then, being on the soccer team and doing that kept me very busy. And I don't know.
Absolutely. And I was the opposite of that. I could pull a scriptural story from anything. Like, today I had to choose between bean burritos and chimichangas. Let me tell you how God played into that. Like,
yeah, no, every time the only thing that it was about God was that's how we spent our time together as a family. Like how I say I don't really know my parents very well. It's because like we didn't, I mean, other than we heard stories from their youth, but there wasn't like a back and forth conversation of us talking about topics. But it's like I feel like I can just talk about any topic with my kids, and I'm talking any topic, and if it makes them too uncomfortable, they'll be like, dude, like,
take a pause, mom. It's
and I'm like, thanks for doing that, sometimes, but if ever you're interested, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Back to the body positivity thing.
Uh-huh.
I remember talking with there was a girl in my church, and she had struggled with weight for ever since she was little. And I was talking to her about what she was eating, and she was like, I eat nothing but like grilled skinless chicken and like 2 different vegetables. And I'm over here eating like an entire box of ice cream and like Oreo cookies. And I'm like,
and everybody
there's
says you're
no
clearly
fairness.
making the better decisions because of
Yeah,
the way
there's no fairness in this.
Fair.
There's no, I think if like all of us had the same body type and you could actually see people's habits,
yes, that would be
like
a whole
that
different
would be
thing.
a little bit different. And
that's not actually reality, but that's almost like the reality that was posed to us.
Yeah.
And
you don't want to celebrate unhealthy lifestyles. I mean,
for sure.
That's something that's been brought up a lot is like, oh, if we have all these plus size models, we're celebrating like unhealthy lifestyles. But
no, maybe if we have all these McDonald's and not enough farms, and we've like really ruined our own food system without regulating anything, like maybe we'd all look better because we had access to better. So maybe if we cared more about fast food and what people have access to eat and like their mental health, which causes them to literally have no time to find any joy in anything but eating because they have no fucking free time. Like, make up your mind.
Yeah. And all body types need representation. It's the same as like nationalities. It's the same as what's the word I'm looking for? Like LGBTQ community.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. All of the things. We all need representation.
All the
because
minority
we see
groups
ourselves,
type things, basically.
Yeah, minority majority, everybody.
Other than anything. There is definitely a hierarchy that's been created by our society, and you have to recognize that. And
and we all see ourselves in ads and in movies and in TV, and when we see things that are us, the body types that are us, the relationships that are us,
I never ever see myself.
It makes us connect.
I never see myself. I actually, so we take these 3-dimensional models at work of the teeth with the iTero scanner, and it's really cool, and it's really neat to be able to outside of yourself be looking at this is what your mouth looks. Sure, it's a huge scale or whatever, but still, like, that's not something you can't see yourself. So I was like, oh my God, I want that. I want to be able to scan myself and then like literally physically see myself exactly as somebody else sees me, like that.
Yeah,
because I don't ever see it's almost like I don't feel like I've ever seen anybody that was like well, I guess that's not 100% true, but I normally will think they look more like my sisters than me. But I'm like, I know that I have similarities to my sisters, so
yeah.
But I normally latch on to something that I maybe have like insecurity about myself. I'm like looking for that insecurity to be like, how bad is it on somebody else? That's not crazy.
That's not crazy. That's exactly like
it's what
I've got that same thing
because of our desire to be this thing that might that would take literal surgery for me to change. It's like, and when that's just your fucking body. If I could be neutral about it, and if I could, then I could squash those thoughts from ever being a thing. So I'm like, oh my God, that should be our goal as a society, is to reach like a body neutrality, which is not to say to let unhealthy things go, but to stop putting so much value in something that people literally can't fucking do anything about. Just the same as with the LGBTQ community and all these things. They're all fucking human beings.
We're all just out here living. When you look at the community that does have access to trainers and special diets and plastic surgery and all of those things, they all kind of tend to start looking the same. And while they do look like very traditionally beautiful, they stop standing out and they all just kind of look, I don't know, like they now fit this mold. They're not themselves, they just fit a mold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
there's definite looks and they're all trying to become the same one, which is like so sad because it's like you like there was nothing wrong with your look. That's how your body fucking was. Like, but I get it because there's certain things that I would change too. So I'm like,
and there's certain things I have changed.
Exactly. So how could I? Because I do believe in getting to feel good about yourself. It's just that society as a whole continuing to push that and believe that and put that on our kids because you can't help but continue what you're taught at that age. You know, it's just
and unfortunately, the way you look does affect how people treat
engage
you.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah, engage with you. That's
100%. 100%. But you know, if we keep, you know, trying to change and trying to teach, like actually believe better things and act on better things ourselves and teach it to our kids. But there's just so many people that I realize, like, I'll think because I'm friends with them or something. I'm like, I'll think that we're more aligned on something than we are. And I'm just like I sometimes I can't find the disconnect of what they're seeing and I'm not.
Yeah.
You know? You find that
Hang on,
sometimes with any friends or no?
Yes. Hang on.
No?
I have to adjust. I'm sitting on my feet, my foot's falling asleep. Yes, as far as like just feelings on things in general, or are you talking about body issues?
Oh no, I was just kind of going on tangents, I think. That's
no, that works.
That's what I do. But you always are so good about bringing it back to what we're supposed to be talking about. So.
No problem. I'm a one-track mind. This is how I do it. I get hyper-focused on things.
Yeah, I need you to do that, and then I guess I need to go off on tangents to help us take
yes.
us somewhere, I guess. I don't know.
To make it more full. This is why we do this together.
Yeah.
I know I've talked about it on here before, but I remember my daughters, especially in junior high, in their gym class, they do the body mass index testing, which I think is so archaic and wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I am 100% okay with any of the t-shirts talking about healthy living, you know, what's great for keeping your body running, how you need exercise, especially weight-bearing exercise to keep your bones and your muscles strong and like all sorts of things. Yeah, go for it. But to pinch everybody's fat and say, this is your number.
Yeah.
Don't measure it against anybody else's. Guess what they do? They all measure it against everybody else's. And then tell them that if they don't improve it by the end of the semester, that their grade gets docked. Are you kidding me?
That is insanity. Especially for someone who had to personally have an insurance agent flub on something when Cody was you want to tell the story or should I? Yeah, like her husband was
my husband is freakishly strong and he's always been super muscly and probably
one of the most human.
Yeah, probably one of the most healthy times of his life. We were getting life insurance and they're like, you fall in the morbidly obese category because of his weight. And it's like,
can you just open your eyes and look at his body though?
Yeah.
Can you so to use that archaic thing and then to make them have to go through that feeling of almost like public shame in a way.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking knock it off already.
Like there's a difference between 20-inch arms of muscle and 20-inch arms that aren't.
Yeah.
It just I don't know. And to not be able to use that common sense and just look and say, hey, that's different.
We got notices about our kids about their BMIs and I was like, well, you can go fuck
Seriously?
yourself. Yes. And I'm like,
that would be my response as well.
Like the activity level, the muscle, I'm like, you can go fuck yourself. I just did nothing at all. I opened it and I tore it up and I put it away and I was like, okay, like because I actually
this is only going to make me mad.
Like the next year, I just did not sign to consent to it because we have to consent. So I said no. So there's certain. Nice I'm like, so there are certain things that they're not giving access to, but there's nothing they don't have access to at home. Ugh. It's just that I don't want them having to have their BMI checked at school in front of other people.
No kidding.
Because I think that's stupid and degrading and using an archaic system to do it. Like you're not helping anything. But yeah, sure. Teach all the very good things, but don't do it.
Yeah, teach them how to be healthy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to teach the same thing. I'm not very good at it. Because like I said, I like eating boxes of ice cream and
because
cookies and
you are very lucky and it doesn't affect you the way that it affects other people. And
it's
that's one of
starting to
those
affect the
places.
internals.
Yes, it's
I
it's gonna
gotta
catch up
I gotta
with
change
you,
things.
but you're never gonna have to deal with the things they have to deal with, which is being treated differently because they like it doesn't matter how they eat, their body is going to look different because body types just exist and an ideal image doesn't.
No. And even the people who fit into the ideal image still look at themselves and they're like, oh, I
Yeah.
wish my arm didn't jiggle, or I wish, there's
Mhm.
always something, or my nose looks funny, or
Yeah.
when I look in the mirror, I notice that sometimes my nose like shifts to the side a little bit.
No way.
I got
You
like little bat
like
wings
you literally look
when
perfect. So shut your face.
I
And
know, I know, but
because
there's
people look at
I
other
said I know.
people as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And individually, we can't help but just fucking pick ourselves apart. And it's the
Pick
dumbest
ourselves
thing
apart.
because everybody else is doing the same thing too. They're not focused on your face in the way
They
that
don't
you are.
care about,
They
yeah.
don't care. So learn to stop caring so that you can just move on with your life and start living it instead of like, trying to change this to like, somehow be better or different or just
It's so
generally
hard
not
though.
being happy with it. Yeah, it is hard.
I remember when I was a little kid, one of my best friends pointing out, like I've had braces, but I used to have a really big gap in my teeth. Now I just have a little one.
It's cute.
Um,
I like your diastema.
thank you. But I remember one of my friends, we were getting in a little argument, and she's like, "Well, what do you know about a gap tooth?" And I was like,
What a
"Uh,
bitch.
like, yeah." And then after that, it was
Said it.
like, "What?"
Oh, I said, what a bitch.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we're still friends, but
It's all right. That was a bitchy thing
that
to do
stuck with
still.
me. It
Yeah.
was. I have done bitchy things as well.
You learn
So
better. You get better. Yeah.
yeah,
You can be bitches. I mean, hey, I literally
yeah.
last night when Elena said that to my sister Emily, I said, Elena, you are literally such an asshole. That was my response right then and there in the moment. And everybody, I was like,
Oh,
I am so sorry. And then I, tell him like, you try to teach him like it's not nice to really just point at other people and talk about their body. It's not really nice. So, we learn
mhm.
from these mistakes or whatever. But yeah, it was like kids kind of are allowed to be assholes because it's not
They
from
have no filter yet. They haven't learned.
yeah, it's from a place of innocence and that's how they learn. They say it
Yeah.
and you teach
And
them, but
it's
also if it wasn't hurtful because of what society had trained us to feel,
yeah.
then that would be
Well,
nice
and
too.
it's hard as a parent too to learn the reaction, like not to immediately be like, ah! Like, okay, learning experience. Like I remember being in Walmart and there was a lady with like kind of a cystic psoriasis sort of thing.
Okay.
And my daughter's like, oh, why does she have bumps all over her body? I'm like, oh, shut up. But then you're like, okay, well, you can ask her, or I can't remember how I handled it, but it was either
Yeah.
you can ask her or she just has a skin condition.
Yeah, I think
But
that
look
would have
how
been
pretty her
my
smile
thing.
is, or something like that.
I would have just described exactly what it was. I was like, oh yeah, it's
Oh,
probably a skin condition. Like, yeah, the same. You can ask her or you can look it up, but like
mhm.
there are different types of skin conditions that people can have. I
Yeah,
think I would have just it wouldn't have even been a thing. You know what I mean? Because my
yeah,
kids do for some reason like that didn't bother me as much as like Elena last night doing that because I was like, oh, and I
yeah,
think maybe it's
yeah.
because
Well, because you know the people involved, and you're like, how
yeah,
it's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
affect them.
But I'm sure even in those moments, yeah, that those people are a little bit like, oh, thanks for pointing it out, kid. Like, I know I have this
Yeah, like
problem. The
great.
last thing I need to do is hear about it. I have to deal with it. Don't make me have to hear about it too. To be an
Yeah,
asshole to me because I just exist with something you don't have.
all right. I was like just a few weeks ago, I was reading a story to my son. It was this little Care Bear book. It was a touch
Mhm.
and feel. I probably already mentioned it on here, but
I
um,
don't remember it, so
there was one where you touch the bark of a tree and it's this little bumpy thing. And he's like, hey, that's kind of like your forehead, Mom.
oh
And I'm
yeah,
like,
okay,
thanks.
I remember.
Thanks, sweet pea.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And I like he didn't mean anything by it. He's just like, oh yeah, observation. I'm like,
Yeah.
Botox starts tomorrow. No, I'm
No.
just kidding. I've never had Botox, but
Me neither, but
maybe I should.
no, no. I mean, I'm not against it, but I don't think like I don't look at your face and even think I can't see anything. I don't know if it's just great lighting, but I literally okay, I see them when you do that.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
I got a really like almost I'm getting one really defined one, not like lots of little ones. So that
Mine's lots of little ones.
I'm like, I think the lots of little ones are cuter than the single one. You know, grass is always greener.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like a single here and a single here, and I think it's because I laugh and I go. Do you remember Anthony Barrios? I think his name was. He told me that I was gonna have. He was like, you were gonna have the biggest laugh lines, and I don't know why that always stood out, but I'm like, oh, he was kind of right. I guess I do laugh a lot.
good. Yeah. If you're gonna get
all the
lines, get them from
things.
laughing.
That used to be my go-to response to anything. Like, we could be at a funeral, and I
Just laugh.
yeah, but
Just
because
laugh
I
about
found
it.
so many things to be funny. But like,
Well, you're
maybe I
gonna
let
be the one at your funeral that has like the recording of you knocking and being like, "Let me out of here!" Like you're in the casket, and
I should go
anyway,
ahead and just plan my funeral right now so that I can ensure
don't.
that everybody will have a good time, you know?
Right.
And they'll know that like that was me in spirit being there, whether I exist or not. Life is gonna
Mm-hmm.
go on, and you know,
Yeah.
be good to each
Exactly.
other.
Well, and as much as this body positivity as we're talking about, I probably should like not be the pot calling the kettle black, because after having 3 children, like what little boobs I had were completely destroyed, right? And so I had mine done. And
Sorry, bug.
I haven't thought about it really since then. You know what I mean? It's like I did what I wanted. They
Yeah.
are not like who I am,
Yeah, but
but they
does
make my
it
clothes
feels
fit
better?
better
Yeah,
and
and
I
you feel
feel
better about
more
it. That's
feminine and
great.
more, yeah. So I'm not saying like all body changes are bad
I
if
don't
there's
think
something
that
that
at
really concerns you.
all. I don't
Yeah.
think that at all. It's just that having an I don't know, just putting so much stress on it definitely leads to an unhealthy infatuation on that. Whereas I agree, medicine
Yeah.
has come to a place where you could do those things fairly safely, and if it makes you feel better, I have no opposition. I
Yeah.
also had a procedure. I had a tummy tuck, and I didn't have boobs put in, but I had a little bit of a reduction and lift because they got. I mean, they're still big, but they
Having
got.
kids just
You
yeah.
were just
Anyway,
saying having kids destroys you, right? Does it like cut you
no.
off?
Well, it doesn't destroy you, but having kids can be hard on your body, and losing lots of weight can be hard on your body.
Mhm.
And like being in accidents can, change things of your body. And sometimes you're just born with things that you
Mhm.
would like to
Rather
change.
change.
And yeah, and we live in a time when that's possible, and
Yeah.
you shouldn't feel bad for doing that.
Yeah.
But if you find that you keep going back to the plastic surgery route because like little nitpicky things are wrong and I don't like this freckle and maybe
Yeah. Or you don't make the lifestyle
take a step
changes
back.
necessary to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Plastic surgery, like you shouldn't feel like you only have worth if you get these things done.
Yeah. And I
If
think
that
body
makes sense.
neutrality is a pretty good goal that could help people put less value in it if we could start like
If we
that
could
should
get
be the
there.
next move. There was body positivity, and now I think a step
Body
further is
neutrality.
neutrality. Be positive about
Focus
your
on
body. That's
things.
still a good thing to do. Like I like to feel good about the things that I feel good about. I think it's okay for me to feel good about. And I think we all
Mhm.
should try to do that because you got one life
Yeah.
on this flying rock, live it.
Yeah. And if we could care less about what other people think and enjoy more things about what would make our little journey on this flying rock, like you said, more enjoyable and more fulfilling,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Super duper great.
Agreed.
And
So yes. And
any other thoughts?
I was gonna say, and I like your bod and I like my bod, and I think we're awesome,
Awesome.
awesome bodied people. I don't know. We're body neutral people. We're body neutral people.
Exactly. Exactly. Because we have very
So
different body types, and there's like I'm fine with being probably farther from ideal than you because I like being like I fit with my husband, like we're a cute
dang
little
right you do.
couple. Yeah. I'm a
And
little stocky. He likes it.
shut up. And you've always been able to like do more things than me athletically. Like
Yeah,
I may be a smaller body type, but I like
I've
had
always gained
no
muscle
muscle
very
mass.
easily. Like I haven't lifted in forever, and I keep saying this, we're going to, but here's my plan. Let me put it out there to the universe.
Do it.
We're doing a yard sale to try to raise money for Worlds on April 1st at Bella's coach's house. And
oh, nice.
Yeah. And so
where's that at?
In Fruitland Park here in Florida. Like,
no, I mean, where's Worlds?
Oh, Worlds is in Liverpool in August.
Oh, fun.
Yes. It's gonna be a lot of fun, but it's also like a lot of work to get there. And then it's gonna be a lot of work while we're there, but it's gonna be this opportunity that she has that is really amazing. And she is constantly going and practicing. Like she's really, really like stepping up and working for it too, trying to just like be better, you know.
That's so cool.
She's an impressive kid for sure.
She is. I like her.
But anyways,
she's awesome.
After that sell, the garage should be cleared out because we've accumulated a lot of stuff from like people that we can sell at our sale, because we're doing a multifamily thing, so then we'll have our own table. So it was everything that we can get to sell, then we get the profits from. So I'm like, you know, we don't have a lot of fundraising things going on right now, so I'm trying to make the most of this one, I guess.
Yeah.
And my sister Emily is making cupcakes to do a bake sale.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I like that.
I like it too. But anyways, then the garage should be cleared out, and we have like workout equipment out there. So I'm like, we're gonna have no excuse.
Little home gym.
Elena's a little older, so like she can even come out there with us, and it's just not a big deal. And then like when we used to work out together, I think that's what we held each other accountable to. But then I started working out in the morning, and he would work out in the evening. And I'm like, I think we need to go back to being each other partner.
Doing it together.
Yeah. Like how you guys were doing.
Yeah. Well, we have, and now he does his thing and I do mine.
We need whatever works. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're still doing stuff.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I just got some ankle weights so I can
very cool.
Up my aerobic game.
Yeah. I can picture it now.
You are probably picturing it exactly right. You of all people know my grace and poise.
But now that just makes me want to dress up in like 80s workout with
80s workout gear
and just go to the mall together and just do
speed walk.
And speed walk. Let's just go speed walk and speak the few words I can say in French, and then like that elephant thing you can say in French, and just walk around the mall in that.
Yeah, we'll just speak French, and we'll
just
invite other ladies.
Like it never happened.
Right?
Like we used to do. That was
we need to find like one person that's just there at the mall looking for something, and we invite them to be our best friend for the day. And we're like, no, this is what you're doing. We brought you a sweatband. Like,
so we got to find a willing participant.
A willing participant, yes. Yeah. Because the unwilling will get us arrested.
It would.
Yeah. We could have a lot of fun.
We could. We should. You know,
yes.
Whenever we're in each other's proximity next.
It needs to happen. It needs to happen.
Need to happen. Well, it's not like someone else is gonna come make it happen. We got.
I know.
We are hoping to make a trip out that way next year after Worlds, like the full year after that. So as long as World War III doesn't happen, hopefully, then we will be coming that way in like a couple years. Yeah, but it's like years down the road. Like we're gonna, at least we have this.
Yes.
And if we win the lottery earlier than that, we'll come out and we could go to like the cabin and stuff that you guys go to.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Well,
let's scratch those scratcher tickets.
Yeah. Do you have scratchers in Idaho?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I didn't know if Idaho was like Utah.
Sometimes I'll get a scratcher and me and my dad will like, when he was here one time, he had a dream that he won the lottery. So I'm like, hey, we actually have a lottery here. So we went and bought scratcher tickets and he won like $13.
Wow.
So,
Lucky him. Beginner's luck.
Mhm.
I don't get anything for
Right?
scratchers, but my beginner's luck was in
I don't
Atlantic
ever play
City.
them.
Anthony, for my 21st birthday, Anthony took me to a place in Atlantic City and gave me
Yeah.
$100 chip. And I rolled on the
Nice.
craps table for like a really long time. Other people were like placing bets for me, and it just kept
Really?
going, and then people were crowding the table, and it was almost kind of crazy. And I made a good amount of money.
Nice.
And then every single time I have thrown since, I have like crapped out
Nothing.
damn near immediately. Yeah, I'm like, oh, like I thought somehow like I was like lucky. No, one time.
One time.
And that was it. And it was amazing.
I stood at a craps table for a while trying to figure it out, and it's
I
beyond
still
me.
don't get it. I still don't get it. Other than play the pass line. I don't know.
Something.
I just
don't
go and
remember.
I'm like, what should I do? And so I do the same thing on repeat each time. And
Uh-huh.
I'm not winning anything big, but I have fun.
Nor are you
It's like an
supposed to. That's
arcade.
not the
It's
point.
literally just
Yeah.
we like arcades as a kid. Guess what? We still like them as adults. I like playing games. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
And if the
Yep.
money, if we're dumb enough to give them our money, then let's put that in at least.
Well, you're
let
paying
the
for the
taxes get
entertainment.
some. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just paying for the entertainment. It's
Mhm.
if you're going there to make money, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah. I mean, I know people do it, but generally
Yeah.
they're I don't know. I don't think it's
I
a
remember
safe bet.
I remember the cook at our old job would take his paycheck and head to Wendover every time. And I'm like, that's probably a bad idea.
That may be problematic long term.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's not
Anywho,
sustainable, right? No? Yeah.
you wouldn't think so.
Maybe though. I don't know.
Maybe I just do it wrong.
I'm sure
But
I do. I'm sure I do.
money's too hard to come by to do that all the time.
Yeah. Can't afford to
So
do it that way.
no.
Anyways.
Anyways.
All right.
Anyways. All right. Well, I love you and
I love
thank
you
you for
too.
the body neutrality to
Yeah,
ponder
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I will do that because that sounds awesome.
There we go.
Focus
All
on the
right.
things that make you, not just on the outer wrapper.
Yeah. But like for real, not just a statement, but how can we make it like a movement?
Yeah. I think just make sure that when you talk about it
Try
with
to
other
embody
people
it.
that you're try to embody it because it does catch on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whee. Anyways.
Anyway,
All right. Well,
that is all. That's all for today.
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Yeah, and then we'll talk about that. Okay. I love you.
Okay,
And
awesome.
I Lilas. Talk to you later.
Love you, Lilas.
Bye.
Subscribe up there.
Subscribe.
There's a subscribe up there.
Okay.
Like the button.
Okay.